So, yeah, right. So, first and foremost, I want to give all praises honor, and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem Kakadash. We settle on our person and elders agreements on well teachers our person in the truth, and we see salutations, solely accumulated, pushing within the truth and sincerity, day in and day out, and constantly in season or season, we say, Shalom. And once again, going into our video here, and this basically touching upon this article that was sent to me from my brother, right, which is going into the farmers warn about a food crisis, right? And we know with this is not the first time that this sort of information has been put out. There have been countless of articles, countless of news articles, countless of interviews, videos where farmers have been talking about a potential food crisis, right? And we know one of the things that is going to be sent to this place is famine, right? With all the things that are happening around the world, when you see the wars and that trickle on effects of when these things are happening, right? And a scarcity of food is one, right? Now you also are going to where also going to where the situation that's happening with the farmers and with the industry, the war that's going on there, with the higher ups wanting to control the matter of fact they control like how much I think they say like 90% of agriculture in America and many other places, right? Causing the farmers to they who's not joined with them, the crops um the crops can't sell, and when these higher ups, when these elites control the market, obviously what it is they're going and give people, what it is they're going and feed people, and it'll be fake stuff, and there's going to look up stuff like BlackRock, um and these other things, right? So going into the article here, they say farmers warn food aisles will soon be empty because of crushing conditions. We are not in a good position. So you see, farmers warn food aisles will soon be empty because of crushing conditions. We are not in a good position, right? And with obviously with, and I see the puppet here, right? Maybe in a supermarket or grocery, one of these things where it's actually seeing the aisles empty. Now this is something you could actually go and see for yourself, where when you go into the supermarkets, the groceries and so forth, you would see that the aisles are becoming the stuff that are on the aisles are becoming more selective, meaning that you wouldn't see things that you have seen before. Some of the stuff are being replaced, and some of the stuff that you just can't get, right? And where you're seeing the scarcity of food, right? It's a farmers warn food aisles will soon be empty because of crushing conditions. We are not in good position. The United Kingdom is forcing dire food shortages, right? Forcing prices to skyrocket, and experts predict this is only the beginning. So this is just the beginning, right? Just like when you read the scriptures and mention the beginning of sorrows, right? For all these is the beginning of sorrows. All these things happening here is just the beginning. From here on, they get worse because with the scarcity of food, right? Yeah, with the scarcity of food, you're also seeing jobs, people losing their jobs. Inflation is skyrocketing right now. Like certain places have inflation by like 200% and so on, right? Argentina, I believe their inflation is at its highest it's ever been, right? So you see all these things. You say the United Kingdom is facing dire food shortages, forcing prices to skyrocket, and experts predict this is only the beginning, right? You know what? Since I mentioned the beginning, let me go to 2 Ezra chapter 16, and I'll go read from verse 18. It said the beginning of sorrows and great mournings, the beginning of famine and great death, the beginning of wars and powers shall stand in fear, the beginning of evils. What shall I do when these evils shall come? And I say, now what shall I do when these evils shall come is in a question mark, right? What shall you do? Now this way I say the beginning of sorrows and great mournings, because this is the things that going to come to this place, right? let's say, the beginning of famine and great debt. And you see, famine is there. Just what to say here, let's say, the United Kingdom is facing dire food shortages. You see, the shortage of something, the scarcity of something. That is when you look up the word famine, it says what? Let me just do a quick Google search here, right? It's a famine, meaning a quick Google search. It's a famine is a severe and prolonged hunger, a substantial proportion of the population of a region or country, resulting in a widespread and acute malnutrition and death by starvation and disease. Right? So that is just going into the word famine, but again, so it's the scarcity of food, right? The scarcity of something, right? But this has the meaning. Say here, it resulted in a widespread and acute malnutrition and death by starvation and disease, and all these things. Just to show you, when we now read the scripture, it said what? It's the beginning of famines and great death, because with famine there are other things that will trickle down with it. With war, other things would come with it. You know, all these things. Because when you can't get food, you die from what? Starvation, right? When you can't get food, your body can't feed, so obviously diseases will persist. These are the kind of things that you would get, right? It said the beginning of wars and power shall stand in fear, the beginning of evils. What shall I do when all these things, what shall I do when these evils shall come, right? And these evils is coming, right? It said, behold, famine and plague, tribulation and anguish are sent as scourges for amendment. But for all these things shall they not turn from their wickedness, nor be always mindful of the scourges, right? It said, behold, victuals shall be so good cheap upon the earth, that they shall think themselves to be in a good case, and even then shall evils grow upon earth, sword, famine, and great confusion. And we see the evils growing, because again, this isn't, as I said before, this isn't the first time where you see this kind of information put out. As the scripture say, it say evils shall grow upon earth. It says sword, famine, and great confusion, and that is literally what it is we're seeing right now. We're talking about a famine here. We're seeing this sword being, we're seeing this sword different increasing upon the earth, right? We're seeing confusion increasing upon the earth. These are things we literally, you could just put on the news, go on a news page, and you would see happening, right? We in that time, right? It's a it say, for many of them that dwell upon the earth shall perish of famine, and the other that escape the hunger shall the sword destroy, right? So you're seeing again the beginning of sorrows and great mournings, as verse 18 say, because you might escape famine, but hey, something else waiting to take you out. But as I say, we're talking about famine here, and as the scripture say here, for many of them that dwell upon the earth shall perish of famine, because you don't understand, famine is such a serious thing, especially in the time that we're coming into. When wars happening, when uproars, all these things taking place, obviously it's going to be shutdowns, it's going to be people not working, and you're already seeing what it is going on with the industry when it comes to work, inflation, all these things that's caused, again, as the scripture say, so much it say evils grow, it say and even then shall evils grow upon the earth, and evils is growing, right? So it say what's happening. According to the report by the Guardian, extreme weather is wreaking havoc on crops across the region. England experienced more rainfall during the past 18 months than it has over any 18-month period since record keeping began, right? And I wanted to see weather. So see weather. And something else I remember, I was in a video that it mentioned that was causing the scarcity of the food, right? It say, why is it important? It say English farmers aren't alone. People are struggling to grow crops worldwide because of extreme weather, and that's true. Even down here, plants like plants, crops, it not growing as it's supposed to, whereas we're supposed to be in rainy season, right? So plants would have gotten rain. We actually still in sunny in what you would call the sunny season, right? Where it's literally hot, you know, lack of water right now, right? And you see things taking place. Now again, go on watching the groceries and you would see how it's affecting the aisles, right? Because one thing about Jake is this: is there is only know about things until it last minute, until when they go in the grocery and they ask for a particular item they can't get, or when they go in the grocery they start to see things scarce, right? They start to see things scarce. And then they were asking, what going on, what taking place, and it's literally you can't get the stuff that you once used to get, and eventually you wouldn't be able to buy some of the stuff that you used to get due to inflation, due to the work, due to work, the work, what's going on with the jobs and going on with jobs and so forth, right? Um, So let me go to Matthew chapter 24 and I'll read verse 7. It says, "For nation shall rise against nation and kingdom against kingdom, and there shall be famines and pestilences and earthquakes in diverse places. All these are the beginning of sorrows." So all this is just the beginning. So it mentioned the things that he would see at the beginning, and famine is mentioned to be one. You understand? And we have seen this. To the common man, he believe he could still go in the grocery and things, everything good right now for him. He didn't really care what is taking place, right? But as the scripture says, so much more evil's growing, and evils is growing as we speak. I may be doing this video here, and something right now must be going on. You understand? And this is what taking place. You're seeing it right before your eye. We in those times. We in those the beginning of sorrows. We done already in it, going on into the rest. So, and again, famines is such a heavy thing, because famine could, famines will cause starvation, malnutrition, diseases. It will cause people to run into your houses if you're someone that have, right, and so forth. And someone hungry, he don't really care, he don't really care. He will run in your house. As the scripture say, they wouldn't regard the prince. In that day, you feel a man care, you would just for food. You don't care if you're famous or if you have this or if it's he want to feed him and his family, or whoever it is alive, running in your house, taking what you have. They might even eat you. This will cause also what? Cannibalism. That's why it say evil's growing. Okay, that people outside here eating every single meat, and you will be in that. You understand? And they will get a pastor to tell them, bless and eat. Eat that human flesh. Right? So these things is called havoc. This thing is called chaos. But this is what coming to this place. Nothing good. Right? So with that, once again, I'm going to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem HaKadosh. We say that when apostles and elders agreements from the word, our teachers are apostles in the truth, and we say salutations, so they are pushing wood on the truth and sincerity, the in and the out, constantly in season and season, we say, Shalom.